How have you changed since being in this relationship?
That's good.
I think I was already patient. I think I'm much more patient now. I think I was also already an understanding person, but I think I'm also much more understanding and compassionate and empathetic. I think my relationship in particular might be a little bit unique in that way because Ryan is neurodivergent. So I think I need to extend, it's not a need, but I think it's the right thing to do when you love someone and accept someone is to extend them grace and compassion and empathy. But I think maybe that's required a little bit more in my relationship because of Ryan's neurodivergence.
So the changes you're more accepting.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think I was always, I think I'm just like, those are amplified since being in a relationship with Ryan in particular.
Okay. Um,
Let's flip it to you. How have you changed since being in your relationship with Ange versus your others, let's say?
well, it's a little different because I know, well, know is a really key word in that sentence, but you feel like the relationship is going to last longer, or rather, I want it to last longer. So therefore, there's a little bit more fluidity with changing.
You feel that,
Yeah, I mean,
man.
it's
Why didn't you just record, guy?
I'm sorry. I can't.
Do you feel that?
Yeah, no, it's just cool that he. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's like the best way I can describe it, but when you when you meet someone and you want things to work out, then you have to I think you have to be the first person to change, you know? So for me, it was I'll speak about my last like the first conversation I had with my current wife. Uh,
Your only wife?
I'm saying that because of the trend, the TikTok trend now, the current wife, current husband.
What?
There's a trend right now.
Trend.
I'll tell you
Anyways,
after.
let me back that up. The the conversations we've had was way different than my first conversations in my previous relationships, where it was like almost like a debate, almost like it was like tactical. It's like I'm only gonna give up this information if they
Yeah.
they do it first. Like it was like a lot of firsts coming
Yeah.
from the other person rather than myself. So I've changed because if I want a certain feeling, I wanted to know that like, okay, I'm getting this in return,
Mhm.
then I was the first person to like, you know, be open and like clearly state my objective because I think a lot of people don't do that now. I don't know what it's like to date in this time and day, but I'm saying I bet you a lot of people aren't as open and honest, and I feel like there's a lot of games being played,
Yeah.
manipulation. So
So it's almost like you were okay being vulnerable and like saying exactly what you want and how you felt because you wanted it to work.
yeah, because I always looked at it like, okay, I've tried it this way for a very long time,
Yeah.
so I might as well
Do it the other
go the other
way.
way and see what happens.
Yeah.
And turns out that was
That
the
was the
right way
better
the way
way.
entire time because
Yeah.
when you're younger, I was like a very like I would definitely look at it as like a high stakes like you know we'll use the word petty because like we use that today like you try to find ways to either like bring good feelings on or you would try to like I don't know
Yeah.
you would gamify it and it was wrong anyway so it's
I think that's a good way of putting it that like when you want it to work, you're willing to make changes you wouldn't otherwise.
yeah yeah
And I think we both agree. Do you agree, Ryan?
I'm not here.
You've been here. You've added to
Brian's in the
this
background everyone
podcast like 10 times.
Like,
I don't even see it do you feel it
I didn't see it. It's just your eyes.
get out of here okay do you believe in the phrase never go to bed angry why or why not
I do. I don't think he does. And let me explain. Because I will be angry and want to talk or upset with him and want to talk it out before bed. Or I just don't want to go to bed angry. Like I have a hard time falling asleep. He has no problem falling asleep. He'll just like go to bed. or often I'll be like, let's talk about this. He's like, I'm tired. Like, I need to go to bed. But it got to the point where it's not that that he wants to go to bed angry at me. He's just never angry with me to the point where like I'm angry at him where he can't sleep because he's like, if I'm almost petty in that sense where if I'm angry, he's like, good night, I love you. I'm like, good night. Like, I'll go to bed because I'm angry with you and we didn't solve it before going to bed. Whereas even if he's angry at me, he'll still be like, I love you, good night. Like, he'll never be petty about it. So he's never that angry where it'll stop him from sleeping. But another thing is like capacity. With his ADHD, he takes his meds first thing in the morning. So when we have a fight or an argument or a conflict, or even if we had one the day before, we always talk about it in the morning because that's when he's at like peak capacity. He's low on frustration, like he's not easily frustrated with anything or me. Like he's able to hold space for my emotions, have a conversation. Whereas the minute dinner time hits, if there's any conflict the rest of the evening, there is no point in talking about it because he is so easily irritated and frustrated with me. Like if I say something, immediately it's a no-go. So that's another reason we don't necessarily solve things before bed if they happen after 5 p.m. because it's just going nowhere productive. Like he's saying things that are hurting my feelings. I'm getting defensive that like it's just not happening. So instead, we'll go to bed angry. Usually I'll go to bed angry because he's fine. We'll sleep on it and then we talk in the morning. Ideally, though, I would like probably to talk about it before bed, but it works better this way for both of us because then we're saving the relationship that way. We're protecting the relationship because neither of us are saying anything that will hurt each other's feelings or that we'll regret maybe. And then when we're fresh and have slept on it and he has a capacity, then we do it in the morning.
Makes me think that like, well, two things, but in the evening, if Ryan comes across a flat tire, he's like, might as well cut the other three tires out too, because
Ryan would
one
probably
tire's flat, might as well just ruin all of them too. What's the point
he would
driving?
probably leave the flat tire.
Oh, he would
He'd
leave
be
the flat
like,
tire.
well, it's just Uber home.
Yeah,
Like
get
it's
out.
too late in the evening for this. Like
Fix it tomorrow.
that would be it.
First thing tomorrow, he's like, oh, my car broke down.
Yeah. He'd like remember that he left the car on the side of the road.
Existential problem. You can ask the same question.
Yes,
Whatever.
no, please. Do you guys go to bed angry? And do you believe in that phrase?
So I'll tell you this because I'm a married man now. Initially, when we were dating, I'm only saying not because we were dating, because like I would just notice it prior to getting married. I would like that too. I think anyone would like that. Like you'd never want to you want a fresh slate the next day.
Yeah. Clean slate.
But knowing my partner now, it's almost like you have to see it through their perspective.
Mhm.
Not every single person can just get over something in the moment. So it's like, yes, I never want to go to bed angry, but it's also like, how much time does my wife need? Right? So as much as I want things to be okay, it's like she's openly told me that she sometimes thinks things through and sometimes she needs time to herself with it so that then she can discuss it, right? Like it's almost like hard because like I never want to go to bed angry, but it's all about me. You know? But it's not. It's just, I mean, it's about like both of us. And I'll tell you again, it's like that definitely depends on who the person is, but the fact that if you're lasting in a very, very long relationship, you eventually learn that like that expression comes in a good, like rooted in good, but in practicality, it's like not every single person has that like memory of like a goldfish to just like, okay, let's just like make up and go to bed, because sometimes it doesn't always solve the problem.
But for you, is it actually making up that you need, or is it just like acknowledgement that like if she says I need time to process, but you guys are able to be like, but I still love you, we'll talk about it in the morning once I have processed it. Is that all you need to go to essentially have the mindset of like, okay, I'm going to bed and we're not angry at each other?
Now, yes,
Okay.
because for someone who's just like such a like people pleaser,
Yeah.
that like if I didn't hear that from her and we just went to bed, I'd be like, man, this sucks.
She's pissed.
This is,
Yeah.
this
I'm waking up tomorrow to like
when people say like I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed.
Oh,
like,
that's the worst.
That is the worst
That's worse than
feeling
anger.
with the person you're living with and in a relationship with. But I would actually reword that saying not to never go to bed angry. It's never going to bed without discussing something,
Okay.
because then at least you have some idea being like where each other's at. You're getting the temperature before
Yeah.
each of you kind of like fall asleep for the night. Um, but like yeah, it's kind of funny because like I was such a big person being like, I don't care what happens at like 12 a.m. the problem's over. Like
Yeah.
doesn't happen.
Yeah. I agree. For me, it's not the where it's all about me. Like, I don't want to go to bed angry, so we need to talk it out. It was more so just like, yeah, getting that closure that like I need to know that you don't hate me, that you're not upset with me, that we're not gonna like, break up or divorce in the morning because you've now slept on it and you're like, actually, I'm still really angry about this. So, but when he doesn't have the capacity in the evening, and he hasn't said what Ange just said to you about like, oh, I still love you. We'll talk about this in the morning. I just need time to process, kind
Yeah.
of thing. When he doesn't say that, and he's like, I just can't do this right now. I need to go to bed because he's like maxed for the day. I'm like, well, where does that leave me? So now it has nothing to do with like, oh, like my needs are that we need to solve it before bed. But now it's almost the opposite. Like his needs are like he needs to go to bed right now, but I'm not getting any type of reassurance or closure that this is not it, kind of thing. So it's almost like the reverse. Like if he can give you that little bit of reassurance without
Yeah.
totally talking about it and solving the conflict right before bed at like 11 p.m., then I'm okay to like sleep on it and then we can revisit fully in the morning.
That yeah. That makes way more sense. Imagine someone just like falling, like waking up, like, you know what, mother, and then just just like losing it. But like, I don't know. Thankfully, neither one of us has to deal with that. We'll do one more.
Yeah, we can do one more. That's actually hilarious because there's one night where he could feel me still thinking, and I was like, I can't go to sleep. Like I'm so anxious right now. I have no idea how you feel about this. You remember that night where I was like, I'm just so stressed out. I feel like you're so angry with me and you haven't said anything. And then he was like, I'm not
Sure.
mad. And the minute he said, like, I'm not mad, like, we're fine, I was like, okay. Like, I needed to know that, but I was so anxious going to bed.
Yeah, you just got to deal with it, I guess.